Hello YouTube. So today what I want to do is just a video on a basic tarantula setup and what do you need. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need for a tarantula setup is a substrate. I tend to use dried cocoa fibre for my Mexican red knee. Obviously different species of tarantula will need different types of substrate, but for Mexican red knee I like to use a dry substrate of cocoa fibre. It does say they do like it slightly damp. However, I found my particular red knee didn't like that. When I used the cocoa fibre blocks, the ones that you mix with the water, she really did not like that. She just tended to spend all the time on the side of the glass wall. So I came to the conclusion that obviously she didn't like the wet substrate. So I got some dry substrate. I think it was called Komodo Dragon, and I got it in bags for $4.99 each off eBay. And she seems to like this stuff. She doesn't mind it at all. Okay, so that's the first basic thing you're going to need is a substrate. Okay, depending on your tarantula, depending on what substrate you need. And as you can see, there's some cricket over there trying to probably hide, run for its life. Right, so the next thing you're going to need is a hide. So I've got, personally myself, I've got 3 hides inside my tarantula tank. Yeah, I've got one there, which she's currently under right now. That's the one she tends to use the most. I've got one here, which I've buried halfway under the substrate and put it over the top. And then I've got one here that she never uses, which is just supposed to be like half coconut shell. Okay, so I've given her an option on where she wants to go basically, and what she feels more happy with going into. She tends to like that one there the most. The next thing you're going to need is a water dish. Some people say tarantulas don't need water. That's a load of crap. They do need water. They do drink. Yeah. So that's rubbish. They do need water, and they need a water dish, and they need to have fresh water at all times. Okay. Those little bits of black stuff you can see in there, it's just a substrate. Unfortunately, you can't really stop that. Okay. I then just got some like decoration stuff in here, such as a plant there stuck to the glass, a plant here, and just some cocoa fibre. Not cocoa fibre, just a little bark here. Yeah, they're not really. You don't really need these, but it's just to make the tank look a little bit better. So that's why I put them in there. Okay. And then I've got just the backing on the back of the glass. You might be wondering what those little like things are up there, where it looks like it's been ripped out. It's where the tarantula's climbed up there and it's decided to try and rip it off. I think what it's trying to do is it's trying to burrow through, not realising obviously that it's a bit of glass behind it. Okay, that's what all these little bits are at the bottom. Yeah, I need to get them out of here really. Right, and then there's my tarantula in there. She's currently eating a cricket. She is in there. She's just molted, so she's looking a bit thin at the moment. And she's eating now, so that's good. But there she is. She's in there, happy as Larry eating on a cricket. Okay. So the next thing I've got is I've got a little. You see the wire there? It's just a little temperature gauge thing, little digital one, just to tell me how hot it is inside the tank. Okay, and then you need some form of heat source. I don't like heat mats myself personally. It can confuse a tarantula. Yeah, so I use a heat lamp if and when needed. With modern houses nowadays with central heating and stuff like that in it, you don't really need it. Definitely not in the summer months. You don't need heating. During the winter months, yeah, that's when I get my heat lamp out and I'll put it on if needed. However, if the central heating is on in the house and it's on 30 degrees, you don't need it. Okay, all right. So basically, that's just my basic setup of my tarantula tank. All right, okay. And then the actual tank itself is just one of those Exo Terra tanks with the front glass doors and the wire mesh lid, which I really would suggest that you get a wire mesh lid if you've got a tarantula, because they can chew through things, and they do try and chew through these lids. I've seen her quite a few times up here trying to chew through the lids. Okay, And also take into account, depending on what species of tarantula, is how tall you want your tank. If you've got, say, a Mexican red-kneed tarantula, which is a ground-dwelling tarantula, you're going to want quite a short, not a very tall tank, okay, because they can climb up, and if they fall down, it's not good for them. If you've got something like an Indian or a Mental, which I used to have, then you're going to need quite a tall tank, because that's a tree-dwelling species. So you need to take into consideration on what type of tank you need for your tarantula, all right? Because not all tanks are suitable for different species of tarantulas. Okay. But thank you for watching my video, and I hope it's giving you some relevant information. And if you have any questions, please ask. I've been keeping tarantulas since I was 12 years old. I'm 31 now, so I do know a little bit about them. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Bye.